I have a harsh truth for you to hear if you're a real estate agent. If you think agent attraction or recruiting are bad words and something that you need to avoid, and they have this negative connotation, well, guess what? If you plan to have any kind of real estate business where you're building something bigger than just you're going to have other agents involved. We're going to talk about exactly what that means right now. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 345 of the Massive Agent Podcast. Holy shit, I say the episode every week, but for some reason that time I was like, holy shit, that's a lot of episodes. It is every week for 6.5 years now. Welcome, guys. Thank you for listening. Episode 345. I am your host, Dustin Brome, here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And today I'm going to try to dispel this feeling that so many agents have around recruiting or agent attraction, right? I love the term agent attraction. I think that it's more accurate because that's what actually works. It's more in alignment with the right way to do it anyways, and the spirit of it. But even the word recruiting, it's just gotten a bad rap because so many people have done it wrong, and so many people continue to do it wrong. And to be honest, when I first joined EXP, 6.5 years ago now, something like that, I did it wrong too. I absolutely did it wrong. Not nearly as bad as some of you people, but yeah, I certainly did it the wrong way before I learned how to attract agents the right way. Here's a news flash, right? I'll just cut to the chase because this is a short and sweet episode today. If you have any desire to have a real estate business, okay, if you're a solo agent, you're wearing all the hats right now, you're doing everything yourself. If you want to have leverage and start to buy some of your time back to where you are not personally required to service every single client and every single transaction, if you want to have a business, you're going to have other agents involved in it. There's no other way around it. So no matter what, unless you plan on being a solo agent who does everything yourself for the rest of your career, and if so, that's totally fine. But this episode's not for you then. If you're just going to keep doing transaction after transaction by yourself with no help forever, and that's your business model, cool. I'm talking to the entrepreneurs. This episode is for the entrepreneur agents. Okay? The agents that want to build a business, that one day want to be able to step away and maybe not be required so much and have transactions closing inside of your business that you aren't personally doing. Maybe you can take 2 weeks off and take your family on vacation, or you just need to spend a month with a sick family member who's on their deathbed and you want to take a month away. If you want your business to still operate and homes still get sold, people still get serviced, buyers and sellers are still getting serviced, you need a business to do that. And every single business in real estate requires more agents. You have to get really, really good at agent attraction and recruiting. And at a minimum, get very comfortable with the concept. Aside from shying away from it and running from it, you have to understand that you have to recruit, you have to attract agents if you're going to have a real estate business that's bigger than you. I don't know how else the hell you build a real estate business unless you have other agents that you've recruited or attracted to your team, to your referral network, to your revenue share organization, to whatever business model you choose. You're going to have to recruit them there. So try to get rid of this feeling that you may have over recruiting or agent attraction. It's only because you've been approached incorrectly. You've been approached by some amateur that word vomited a bunch of bullshit, and they were pushy, they were weird, it was awkward, and you didn't like how that made you feel. Totally fair. I've been approached that way. I'm still approached that way every once in a while. I got a call the other day. Of course, I didn't answer it because it was an unknown number. I do not answer unknown numbers. Call me crazy, but I just block that shit because they're distractions. They're usually sales calls. So I just, on my iPhone, I love that setting where I can just silence unknown callers. Great. Less distractions throughout the day. I can be more productive. So I got a voicemail from someone who was calling on behalf of the broker at a certain local brokerage. And the broker has some time on Wednesday and would like to speak with me about the brokerage, blah, 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 blah. And it was just amateurish. And it's like, so the broker, I'm not important enough to the broker for the broker to call me, right? He just has someone just calling every agent in the roster. It just feels wrong. We know when we're approached the wrong way. So let go of that. It can be done the right way. Every great real estate team, right? If you were building a sales team and you're looking at some other sales team that's done it as the guide or as the example of how to do it, they had to recruit all the agents to their team, right? You have to attract agents and recruit to your team. If you choose like a referral based type team, kind of like what I have, at least half of what I have, you're going to have to recruit agents to it, right? You have to bring agents into your business and show them, I'm not going to use the word convince, but show them and make them feel comfortable enough that your business, that your team, that your structure, your organization is the best fit for them, that they can accomplish their goals inside of yours. Recruiting is not a bad thing. It's a requirement if you're going to have a real estate business. There's no way around this. I just see so many agents, they think recruiting, they're like, oh, I get it because of certain brokerages and certain people within certain brokerages that have just done it the wrong way and have for many, many years. But there's good ones and there's bad ones. Just like realtors, there's a lot of bad agents out there that give you a bad rap, don't they? Right? You go meet with the seller and they've had a terrible experience with a previous agent. You now have to do a little bit of damage control to overcome some objections they have, especially some emotional objections that they have. But what's cool is once you're able to do it the right way and you can actually overcome those objections and you make them feel comfortable and you educate them and you bring value and you help them see the value, to them, they're like, oh my gosh, you're a godsend, because they had made up their mind that agents are one way and you just proved otherwise. Well, now you have the opportunity to do that to yourself, meaning you can show yourself, hey, if I'm going to build a business, if I'm going to have leverage, I need other agents to be part of that. So I'd better embrace this concept of recruiting and attraction. There's no other way to do it. It's a good thing. As long as you, as the business owner, the business leader, the team leader, whatever you want to call it, as long as you have the best interest of the agents in mind, if you truly are building something that will benefit agents, not just extract from them, then you should feel pretty good about that. In fact, if you have a brokerage or a team or a referral network or a combination of those that is really good, that when agents join it, they thrive, they're happy, they make more money, they become more productive, they start building additional revenue streams. If agents are thriving in what you're building, wouldn't it then be your obligation to share it with as many agents as possible? If you have this team structure that you're building that is so great, why the hell would you not share that with as many agents as possible? Why wouldn't you scream it from the mountaintops? It's because you're thinking about it all wrong. You're thinking about it from your selfish point of view, that you're going to gain when they join your group. You are going to gain financially. You're going to make money from them. Well, guess what? If you're doing it right and you're building something great and you have a brokerage that's worth coming to and it has all these great things and people and systems, they're going to make a bunch of money too. That's the beauty. You make money by helping them too. It's very simple, but it takes a little paradigm shift. So stop turning off and shutting down when you think about recruiting and agent attraction. Because I think for some of you, this episode may be the first time you've thought of it this way, but you're going to have to do some of it if you're going to build a team, if you're going to have a revenue share organization, if you're going to attract agents, if you're going to have a referral network. Any real estate business where you're in the business of selling houses, you need agents to do it. So get really comfortable with recruiting agents. Get really good at it. But more importantly, I've in the six-ish years that I've been with EXP and now Real, I've personally attracted over 100 agents. I think it's about 109 at this point, personally, which is crazy to think about actually over all these years. If I had to look back at what made, like how I was able to do that, the number one most important thing is being at a brokerage, or in your case, if you're a team leader, being the team leader, having a team, you have to be attracting to something that is attractive. You have to be at a brokerage that's worth attracting to. You have to be at a brokerage that people want to join. You have to be a team that people want to be a part of. They have to see your culture. They have to see your offerings. They need to see, are you going to provide leads or not, or whatever. And they need to say, oh, I want to be part of that. If you can create something, or if you have something to offer that is attractive to other agents, agent attraction becomes fairly easy. Then it's just a matter of making sure they are the right fit and you are the right fit for them. So having something great that people want is the key across the board, no matter what. Be at a brokerage or have a team worth attracting to. Then it's about how do you communicate your value. This is no different than what you do with your buyers and sellers. You just need to do it with agents and get very comfortable with the fact that you're going to need agents in your world, in your team, in your organization, if you're going to grow and scale a real estate business. This is not a bad thing. This is a good thing. This is actually, if you think about it, a great way to help the industry. There's a lot of agents struggling right now. There's always agents struggling. So now you're creating this thing that's going to help them get business. You're perhaps going to give them business or give them certain tools or systems that's going to help them get more of it. You're going to help them make more money. Why wouldn't you be sharing that with more people? Food for thought today. Thank you guys for listening. Before we wrap it up, I've talked to, so let's see, 3 agents earlier this week that are starting real estate teams. And the biggest thing they're struggling with, well, there's a lot of them. The biggest thing they're struggling with is, what do you do, and in which order, and how do you structure it, and which lead sources, and when do you bring on certain lead sources, and how do you compensate your agents? What splits should you have? What systems and processes? I just tell them, look, this is not a new problem. You are not the first person. You're not the first agent that's had to figure out this stuff. It's been figured out. The best thing you could possibly do is get in a room with people that have already built teams, that know step 1 through step 50, and just have them teach you. This is not complicated. You could YouTube it. You could read articles. You could even jump in and bumble along and make mistakes and do it the old-fashioned way, trial and error. That's going to be very costly. It's going to be very frustrating. Possibly damaging to your reputation if you do it the wrong way. And it's going to take frickin' forever. So get your ass in a room with other team leaders that have already figured it out. If you don't know how to build a team yet, if you don't know what this business looks like that you're going to create, then get in the room with those people. We have one of those rooms in Salt Lake City, August 9th and 10th. It's called Ignite 24, the Team Builder Summit that I'm putting together. We have an incredible lineup of speakers: Neil Dingra, Paige Steckling, John Campbell, who runs the number 5 team in America, Michael Perry, that runs the number 1 team at Real and the number 1 team in Utah. We have Matt Kane, incredible producer and now team leader. An incredible lineup of people that have built giant businesses, and all the other attendees who are team leaders or aspiring team leaders. There's going to be so much experience in one room. If you have any desire to start a team, or if you already have one, grow it bigger, you need to be at Ignite in October in Salt Lake City, Utah. Go to igniteslc.com to get information and tickets. Go check that out right now. And then, of course, you need more tools in your tool belt. Knowledge is one of them. You need to be spending time marketing. You need to be spending time attracting agents. You need to be spending time servicing your clients, not forecasting, economic growth, not forecasting whether or not inflation's going up or down. We have a team for that. You could just hire, in other words, you could hire KCM. You can hire the most astute. Wow, I just used the word astute. I don't know if I've ever done that before. Wow, maybe I'm getting smarter. I feel like I need like a pipe that I should be sucking on right now, a little pipe to smoke, because I said the word astute. Anyways, sounds very douchey. you can have the team of economic experts, housing experts over at Keeping Current Matters on your side, in your tool belt, in your back pocket. And it's actually very, very, very affordable. Most of the team leaders out there, the biggest producers, the leaders in the industry, they're already using KCM. You should too. Try it out right now. Go to trykcm.com/BAM. Try to not use the word astute because that sounds very douchey, but I had to get it out of my system somehow. Trykcm.com/BAM. Damn, this is the best ad I've ever done in my life because I used the word astute. Yeah. So lastly, before we wrap it up, let's talk about BAMX, the BAMX community, the BAMX platform with their events, their courses, their trainings, their community, their referral network. Everything that BAMX has is absolutely incredible, top notch, just like everything that BAM does. If you've ever been to a BAM event or you follow their content closely, BAMX is incredible, in line with all those things. Make sure that if you join BAMX over on the nowbam.com website, you use code MASSIVE at checkout and save yourself some money off the membership. Incredible value. Go check it out right now. Thank you for listening. If you found value in this episode, please share it with somebody in the industry, share it with a broker, a team leader, someone who you think would learn from it and get value from it. Thank you so much. I'll be back next week.